Hello and welcome. You're tuned in to Market Fatafat on ET Now. I'm Shakti Sharma and with me Cheryl D'Souza. And viewers, this is the show where we tell you all the counters that are seen to be buzzing either on the back of the news flow or on the back of the technicals. We will connect with our team of researchers as well as our technical experts in a short while from now. But before that, let's have a look at what the markets are up to. So Cheryl, the record high continues, but the point being that markets are quite volatile today.
Yes, record high definitely continues, Shrishti, and volatility actually has creeped into the mid-cap and the small-cap arena because both of them are significantly off the day's highest point. As you can see, the benchmark index is trying to actually claw back and move to its winning ways. Remember that Sensex and Nifty both hit fresh record high levels in today's trading session, while Nifty Bank is like kissing distance from those record high levels as well. So waiting for those record highs. But yes, broader markets have cooled off significantly from the day's highest point. You saw mid-cap index on your screen a short while from now because mid-cap index is trading with gains about 0.2%. At one point in time, it was higher, approximately 1% or so. Ditto coming in for the small cap index, trading with gains about 0.4%. As of now, if you look at the advanced decline ratio, it seems to be a neck-to-neck advanced decline ratio for now. So let's wait and watch 2 hours left for the market session to come to an end. Let's put the spotlight then on what the sectoral indices are doing. In fact, if you see today, when we started the day, metal index once again was actually powering ahead. But then all the metal counters actually gave up all of their gains. And right now, metal index is trading with cuts about 0.3%. Yesterday is a top sectoral gainer. Today among the sectoral losers. The one that is actually shining bright is the Nifty Auto Index, because in the Nifty Auto Index is primarily the two-wheelers that are actually putting up a very good show in trade today, be it Bajaj Auto or Hero MotoCorp. Both of them are among the top gainers on the Nifty. As you can see on the screen right now, Mahindra & Mahindra also at the day's highest point, trading with gains of about 2.3% as we speak. Apart from the auto index, you also have the IT index that is seeing good strength, about 0.8% uptick coming in for IT index. PSU Bank index giving up some of those gains, nevertheless holding on to gains about 0.6%. You also have the Pharma index that's holding on to gains about 0.2%. Apart from that, if you look at the realty index, that is the top sectoral loser. So that's the way how the markets are looking like at this point in time. Shrishti, yes, you have the markets actually benchmark indices trying to build on gains, but broader markets are off the day's high.
Okay, so that's how the markets are looking like currently. But with this, let me welcome our team of researchers onto the show. Today we are being joined by Harsh Saita onto the research side, as well as Ankita as always. And onto the technical front, we are being joined by Vinay Rajani from HDFC Securities. Very good afternoon to all three of you, and let's kick start with the first counter that is in focus, and I'll be taking that one. This is HDFC Bank. Today onto the banking stocks, we are seeing HDFC Bank supporting the benchmark indices and seeing a gains. Today, the last time I checked, it was 0.8% uptick, what we were seeing on the banking major, and on the back of the FTSE, as well as 3 big rejigs that are going to happen, especially in the last 30 minutes. We're going to be focusing on that because FTSE review will happen for $570 million net inflow event that will be for the India, and Wisdom Tree India Earnings Fund will be adding HDFC Bank to, and cumulative, specifically if we talk about HDFC Bank. So the cumulative adjustment in the banking major is expected at $562 million, and that will be 1.5 times of the flow expected versus the average daily volume. So adjustments are expected in the last 30 minutes, and since the start of the day, the bank is seen to be inching upwards and holding itself rather in the green. 0.7 of a gain is what we are seeing right now.
All right, so that is HDFC Bank for you, but let's shift focus. Let's talk about an aviation company, and that is Indigo, and that particular counter is in focus. It's actually trading much lower in today's trading session. The reason for that being is the fact that the DGCA has sought an urgent intervention from the engine supplier Pratt & Whitney, this following the in-flight engine shutdowns faced by Indigo. Remember that the carrier has been facing due to the faulty engines of Pratt & Whitney, and that's kind of marring the output that the carrier has been giving. On back of that, you saw the stock actually decline as much as 3% on an intraday basis, which is the most since August 16. And right now also, as you can see it on your screen, 2.8% downtick coming in for Indigo. And adding to that pressure of the engines also, you also have the crude oil prices that have spiked very sharply, and that also will put on pressure on Indigo.
Okay, moving on, and Vinay, coming to you for your first counter, since I was just talking about the banking major HDFC today, even the PSU counters are showing strength, and from the pack you have picked up Canara Bank. Tell us how the chart's looking like for this one.
Yeah, so good afternoon. So Canara Bank is a stock which has given a breakout on the monthly chart. So positionally, the stock is looking very convincing. No doubt for the last two sessions, it has been consolidating and not showing any momentum along with the mid-cap PSU banks. But overall setup is quite good. Couple of days back, we saw a good breakout on the charts. And if you were to look at the all-time high, it was made in 2010. So if we adjoin the previous swing highs, then there is a clear-cut breakout on the monthly chart, which gives the confidence that if somebody holds for the next 1 or 2 months, then they can get a good return. So the target which I see for this particular stock, resistance is placed at around 400 odd level. So that can be the positional target for the stock. And as of now, it is holding at 363. And immediate support I see around 347, 350 odd levels. So keeping this stop loss in mind, one can remain long. And the Canara Bank is looking good on the charts, medium-term charts as well as the long-term charts. Now I see a target of 400 in near term. So basically, we are bullish on the PSU banks, and this is the one of the stocks from the large cap space that is having a good potential in the short term.
All right, moving on then, Ankita, let's talk about Shakti Pumps and why is this one soaring in trade today?
That's correct, Cheryl. This particular counter is soaring in trade today. I mean, just look at the move. It is up almost 12% now. In trade, and now that is coming on the back of the fact that Shakti Pumps has received a letter of award under PM Kusum 3 scheme under component B from the Department of Agriculture of Uttar Pradesh for 10,000 pumps. And the total amount of the work order is around 293 crores, and that is inclusive of the GST. And on the back of this mega order, this stock is soaring in trade, up almost 12% in trade.
Okay, 12% gains. Having Shakti Pump is what this counter is having. We're moving on, and Vinay, another banking name, that is Union Bank. How are the charts looking like for this one?
So today only we have recommended fundamentally to our clients. So it is looking good fundamentally and technically speaking also. It has made a rounding bottom formation. After that, we have seen a cup and handle kind of pattern breakout also in today's session. So 93 was a crucial resistance, multiple top resistance, and there was, as I said, there is a cup and handle pattern on the weekly chart. So it looks good positionally. I see a good upside in this counter. We can expect a target of, let's say, 115. So overall positionally next 2-3 months, this could be the next resistance. Right now the level is 96. So 115 could be the next level which we see in the Union Bank. As far as support is concerned, we believe that now the support has shifted up to around 90 odd level. So keeping this level in mind as a support and as a stop loss also for the trader, one can expect that the PSU Bank rally can continue. And as you all know that Nifty PSU Bank Index has just registered a fresh all-time high. So it has started showing its outperformance after a long time, and I think this outperformance can continue. And Union Bank is one of the stock which is looking very strong on the charts, and it is headed for the target of 150. And the short-term support, as I said, that 90 is a crucial level as a support for the counter.
All right, so that's the take coming in on another PSU bank. Harsh, coming to you, Saturn Credit Care. Why is this one in focus?
Well, yes, straight away talking about what the analyst meet takeaways seem to suggest. Very strong credit growth is what is expected. They're guiding for 25% credit growth all the way through FY25, focusing on improving productivity in its current branches. Target loan per branch is set to rise from 7.3 odd crore to 10 crore, solid to almost 30+% rise there. Loan per officer also expected to commensurately grow 50+%. And you're looking at credit costs anywhere in the band of 1.5 to 1.75%. The guided ROAs continue to be very, very strong, 4% plus ROAs and an ROE of 20% plus expected by FY25. On the back of that very strong commentary coming through, you can see the stock up and away in trade.
Okay, moving on to the next counter then, and Bharti Airtel Vinay was one such counter which was seen to be hitting its live high levels just a couple of days back, but for the past 2 days was seen to be taking a breather. So when do you see the journey continuing for Bharti Airtel and the next stocks for this one?
Yeah, so as you said that couple of days back there was a breakout and it then registered a new all-time high, and it was a clear-cut breakout on the charts. And if you were to go by the derivative data on that day, 2 days back, we saw a significant long build-up in this particular counter. So derivative-wise also there was a build-up, and for last two sessions we have been witnessing some consolidation, but the trend is intact. I think this is an opportunity one can consider this stock counter, and the way the large cap stocks are giving breakouts, we believe that in the coming times there could be a days when large caps will outperform the mid cap and small caps, and that is looking good. So I think Bharti Airtel has surpassed the crucial resistance of 895. So the previous resistance will act as a support now. So 895 should be the stop loss in trading long positions. Right now the stock is trading around 916. So overall I believe that this could be the target could be for the Bharti Airtel could be 990 to 1000 odd levels. So overall on the medium term charts, it is looking very convincing, and as it has reached to the all-time high after a big consolidation, there are good chances that in the coming days it will do well and it will achieve the target of 990, which I suggested. And as I said, the stop loss should be around 895, which is a short-term trading stop loss for the traders.
All right, moving on then, let's talk about Sequent Scientific, and that particular counter is soaring in trade today. Last time I checked, the stock actually logged in the biggest percentage gain in about 3 months. It saw an intraday gain of about 9.5% or so. Right now, still holding on to gains of about 7%. And the reason why the stock is actually seeing such a good uptick is the fact that the company has approved the sale of its drug ingredient facility in Thane, in Maharashtra. However, the company has not disclosed the deal value. But nevertheless, on back of this particular news, you saw the stock actually see a biggest intraday gain in about 3 months. The stock has hit its highest levels since August 13. So keep this one on your radar.
Okay, moving on, and let's shift focus to another pharma name, and that is Sun Pharma. Vinay, what exactly on the on Sun Pharma you are looking at? Because the stock had also given a breakout if we see the 6 month chart, but the pharma was seen to be taking a breather, especially Sun Pharma. So what's your take on this one?
Yeah, so primary trend of the Sun Pharma is quite strong. In July month, we saw a breakout, and breakout was above the level of 1063. So that resistance was taken on in the month of July, and we saw that after the follow-up buying was also seen. But after that, we saw that it hit a high of 1170 and came down to the level of 1100. So some sort of running correction was there, but for last 2 weeks it has been gradually moving up, and now it looks like that it has given a breakout from the flag pattern. So flag pattern breakout is always a sign of continuation of a primary uptrend. So it looks convincing, no doubt, for last couple of sessions and 3-4 sessions. In fact, it has not moved and it has not given any momentum movement. But overall, it looks that positionally it is headed for the higher levels, and new all-time high can be expected out of this. So 1170 was the recent high. I'm expecting this levels to be surpassed in a very short time, and I'm expecting it should go beyond above that level. So overall it looks quite convincing. As far as support is concerned, I see a strong support around 1100. So keeping 1100 as a support and stop loss for the traders, one can continue to hold on the long positions. And overall I believe that pharma as a sector can perform well, because it registered an all-time high a couple of weeks back, and now again it is resuming its uptrend. Sun Pharma is a heavy-weighted pharma counter, and it is a safer one also, part of Nifty also, and we are expecting overall large cap to remain on the safer categories and outperform the mid cap, small cap. So that way also Sun Pharma looks good and headed for the target of, let's say, 8 to 10% upside from here, and 1100 should be the stop loss in trading long positions.
Okay, convincing chart setup for Sun Pharma now, but not just the pharma majors. If we have a look at all these diagnostic companies, they are seeing smart gains today, and that's on the back of the pricing pressure abating for the diagnostic players. Why so? Because two major players, that is Tata 1 MG as well as Apollo 24/7, these two players are seen to be raising the prices. This is This is as per the report of Nuvama, where they say that Tata 1mg has increased the prices in the range of 12 to 37% in the month of August versus June, as well as if we talk about Apollo 24/7, 60% price hikes is what they have taken selectively in the month of August versus June. Now, price hikes were mainly in the semi and high specialized tests, and that's the positive news. Why so? Because as these new entrants like the online players started to come in the industry, there was a lot more of pricing pressure for the players on the back of the funding and the back of discounts that these companies were offering. But now this seemed to be abating for all these diagnostic companies. So going ahead, they also have the headroom to increase their prices and improve their financials as well. And that's why we are seeing stocks like Dr. Lal, Thyrocare and even Metropolis Healthcare all gaining over 1% in trade today.
All right. Before going actually to Vinay to talk about Asian Paints, let me flag off Grasim as well as Asian Paints. Both of these counters in today's trading session, because Grasim has actually hit a record high level in today's trading session, while you have Asian Paints among the top losers on the Nifty in today's trading session. Remember yesterday you had Grasim that finally announced the fact that they are entering, or they've unveiled their paint business, and the brand will be named as Birla Opus. And the phase commissioning of the 3 plants and the product launch was supposed to be scheduled for the Q4. On back of that particular announcement, you actually saw Grasim seeing an up move, and Asian Paints even in yesterday's trading session was actually knocked out of trading session. And today as well, as you can see, both of these counters divergent moves coming in, given the fact that Grasim is entering the sector and the competition will increase for Asian Paints, and that's the reason why that counter is declining in trade. But Vinay, on the charts, do you think this declining trend for Asian Paints will continue going ahead?
Yeah, so looking at the chart, it's a clear-cut lower top, lower bottom formation. The stock is trading below its 20 and 50 days moving average and headed towards the 200 days exponential moving average. So overall setup is weak and it is underperforming. And the next support which I see is at 3140, which happens to be the 200 days exponential moving average. And crude is also rising, so that is also hurting the sentiment for the Asian Paint. So overall, the setup is quite weak. 3140 is the immediate support I see, and if that is breached, then we can expect some deeper correction, which can take the stock towards the level of 3000. So we have to see whether this 3140, the 200 days moving average, or as well as the previous swing low was also placed around 3150. So we need to see whether these levels are getting breached on a decisive basis or not. And if those levels are 3150 is breached, then we can expect a deeper correction. As I said, that the far support is seen around 3000. So definitely it is likely to underperform, and the overall setup is looking weak on the charts, on the daily chart. And as far as resistance is concerned, I see unless this stock crosses 3300 on the upside, the setup will remain bearish only.
Okay, bearish setup on Asian Paints. We're moving on, and once again, let's shift focus to the pharma space. Ankita, you have picked up Strides Pharma. Tell us what's the news flow on this one.
That's right, Shristi. Strides Pharma is soaring in trade today. It is up almost 9%. It is up 9% in trade. Now, it is coming on the back of the news flow that Strides has received a tentative US FDA approval for dolutegravir tablets. Now, the approval of this product complements Strides' approved range of the first-time HIV treatment to now include treatment, for the naive patients as well. Now, the drug of 50 mg tablet has a market opportunity in the US of around 1,345 million US dollars per IQVIA. Now, the product will be manufactured at the company's facility in Bangalore, and the conversion of this tentative approval to a full approval is expected upon the expiry of the constraining patents. And on the back of that, we are seeing this particular counter soaring in trade up 9%.
All right, so that's Strides Pharma for you, the reason why it is soaring in today's trading session. But Vinay, coming to you, let's talk about HPCL. And for HPCL, the only thing that is soaring right now is the crude oil prices, which does not bode pretty well for the counter. As you look at the line graph of HPCL over the last 6 months, 4% decline, very volatile, very dependent on what happens in the crude oil market, isn't it?
Yeah, so definitely this entire space, oil marketing space is showing weakness. On 12th September, when we saw significant selling in the mid cap and small cap, this stock also formed a bearish pattern. It is called a bearish engulfing pattern on the daily chart. So right now the stock is trading slightly below its 200 days average and it was already trading below the 50 days average. So it is trading below the important moving average resistances and it looking weak right now. The immediate support which is there is around 249, which is a swing low. So 249, which is not that far from current level. So if further position has to be taken, I think this 249, we should wait for this level to breach on the downside. So once we see HPCL breaking 249, we can expect some more deeper correction in this counter. So entire space is underperforming and crude is also rising. So that is also hurting sentiment. And technically also indicator oscillators, moving average setup is quite weak on the charts. So I would rather wait for 249 level. It is a trigger level for the short sellers. So if that breaks, then we can expect 4 to 5% more downside. And the recent swing high was at 259. So for short-term trader, 259 is a resistance. And if that is taken out, then we can cut the short positions. But with that stop loss, one should continue to hold on to those short positions. And 249 is a fresh level below which one can go short.
Okay, so that's the take coming in on HPCL. But let's talk about CRM Silk Mills and Harsh. Tell us why this counter is in focus today.
Well, yes. So, Srishti, we're looking at buyback coming in from CRM Silk Mills. So, first off, today's the last day for buyback. So, that's one piece of it. But the other piece, the buyback price, and that's really the meaningful one, that's been hiked from 650 rupees to 720 rupees. Now, you can see the stock rising higher on the back of that possible announcement. Also, the maximum number of equity shares as a result of that has come down. From 16.6 lakh equity shares to be bought back, now 15 lakh equity shares will be bought back, which is roughly 3.2% of the total capital. Now, largely, of course, positive on the back of the fact that the buyback price has been hiked, and that's why you can see that reaction on the stock.
All right, let's move on and let's talk about UPL then, Vinay. Looks like things are kind of stabilizing for UPL when you talk about it fundamentally. But on the charts, are you also seeing some sort of stability kick in for UPL this after 11% drop in the last 6 months?
Yeah, exactly. So the stock has started performing well now. It has underperformed since long and now it is improving on the chart. So stock has taken out the resistance of 50 days average. In fact, it has given a bullish inverted head and shoulder pattern breakout on the daily chart. So yesterday we saw that stock saw a momentum and there was a breakout and volumes were also higher. So as technical setup on every aspect, technically it is looking very strong and it is headed for the target of 658, which happens to be the 200 days average resistance. So it is one of the stock which is the trend reversal case on the positional charts. So as we all know that this chemical space has started performing well, and this was one of the stock which did not perform at all in last 6 months, did not participate in the rally of the market. But the way it has moved in last 1 week, I think it is headed for the good levels on the upside. As I said, that 650, 658 should be the immediate target for the UPL. So one should continue to hold on to the long positions. And support I would like to share here is the support is it plays around 618 and 20 should be the stop loss in trading long position. So overall it is looking very good for the short term.
All right, looking very good for the short term, and that is UPL, and that's Vinay's view coming in on that particular counter. Let's move on and let's talk about Restaurants Brand Asia. And why is this particular counter in focus in today's trading session? If you look at Restaurants Brands Asia, it actually has hit a 1-year high on an intraday basis. So a solid up move of approximately 12% or so at one point in time, or rather 13% at one point in time. And the reason being that 25% of equity actually changed hands via block deal in today's trading session. In fact, it should not be 12 lakh plus shares. It should be actually almost 12 crore shares that actually changed hands via block deal when it comes to Restaurants Brand Asia. You had news reports indicating that the promoters were looking to exit this particular counter, and they were expected to actually sell stake via tranches. We are yet to get the details about the buyers and the sellers in this particular block deal. But for now, as you can see on your screen, Restaurants Brand Asia moving in solid up move coming in after that 12 crore shares changed hand via block deal, making sure that the stock has seen the biggest percentage gain coming in from May 18th. And also not just that, if the gains hold on for this particular counter, then it is on track for biggest weekly gain since mid-May. So all things working in favor of restaurants brand Asia, at least in today's trading session.
Okay, moving on, let's shift focus to the IT space then. And Vinay, from the pack you've picked up VPRO. I would say it has been a bit of an underperformer in terms of the move that we have seen for the rest of the IT majors. So now that in the past 6 months the stock is just up 17%, how do you see the move continuing?
Yeah, so we have always considered Wipro as a underperformer. If you were to take the view on IT stocks, always we give priorities to Infosys, the HCL Tech and TCS. But looking at the recent charts, the way it has moved and the way it took the support on the, let's say, I would like to share here that whatever high was there in the year 2000 when IT bubble was there, Wipro actually made all that high was at 350 odd levels, and 2000 was the year, and at that time it took resistance there and corrected sharply. But here in April 2023, we saw Wipro taking support in 2000 high levels. So it is a very significant development, and after that we have seen a gradual up move. But if you were to look at the recent setup, the stock has reached to the 6-quarter high. So it is a good development, definitely looks good. I think in sync with other IT stocks like Infosys and TCS, Wipro can also perform here. So no doubt in last 6 to 8 months, it has underperformed the large cap IT stocks, but the way it has shaped up on the charts, I think it is likely to move along with the other IT stocks. So looking quite convincing. So this is the stocks which we have already recommended to our traders as well as the positional traders. The support for the Wipro is around 422, which was the previous swing high. So that will act as a support. And we can easily expect this stock doing well. And on the upside, the immediate resistance I see around 500, 505. So overall, I see Wipro can outperform from here. Even I am expecting Wipro to outperform the other large cap stocks in the coming time. This is obviously a contrarian view, but I believe that the way it is shaping up, it is headed for the higher levels, and I am expecting to surpass the level of 500 in the near term.
Alright, so that's the take coming in on Wipro. But on that note, viewers, we'll slip into a break on this edition of Market Fatafat. But stay tuned, more stocks to discuss on the other side. Don't go anywhere.